mall by us, so we're gonna go there. You look tired as fuck. Don't show your titties. Don't show them. Oh my god.
Hey!
Hey! Hey! That's not nice!
It's a bunch of things.
There's so many people in this mall right now. Happy brownie. Some kind of health brownie. Cocoa protein, 4 protein, carbs, fats. 3 samples. Say this brownie. Okay, what do you think of the brownie?
Tastes like rubber ass.
You don't like it?
I like it. It's just got a weird...
It tasted like crap to me. I didn't like it. It was dry. If it was moist, it would have been good, but it was
It's kind of weird.
We gotta go down that way.
bad that I screamed, "Error! Excuse me." The software should be used in an area with intents of your enemy to connect and maybe found by others. Fuck! Please work. I really want something for free. I brought you here for special purposes. Ugh. What a bitch.
And I try to keep them both happy.
Which is not easy to do, I assure you. And Katie is out there somewhere in the crowd. Thank you for sharing your husband with me each and every morning. All right, without any further ado, we want you to meet Dr. Oz and Lisa Oz. Let's bring them out on the stage.
And so obviously if you text the person you love and tell them, hey, you know, I'm excited to see you tonight, that's actually a good idea for the men out there. I do that personally. Women need about 24 hours of foreplay. Is this true? I think it's true.
Yeah.
Lisa?
I don't know which women you're talking about.
Technology can be effective in that regard, but obviously technology usually distracts us from the person we're with. How many of you go to a meal with people you care about, and before you know it, everyone's texting or emailing or calling, right? So we beg you to have hands up. Put your hands up and say it, seriously. It's just everybody, right? It bothers me more than anything else. We have a no-phone zone when we have dinner as a family. I don't want to call, myself included. I don't take any calls. It's that I want a half an hour. It's nothing. I'm looking at you in the eyes. Remember what you look like. Realize how precious you are to me, and hopefully vice versa. And then I'll go back and re-engage right. And if we talk about in the magazines, talk about the memory issues that it's causing, because if you don't have to memorize numbers and addresses and places to go, those are all things that force our minds to exercise. Calisthenics, to remember what direction to go in. And so I go on technology, and then I don't want to go back to the day when we didn't have it, but we also have to be cognizant of the fact that if you have everything, eventually it becomes your brain, which is not what you want. So what do we do to sharpen our memory? Well, there are a couple of things that work to sharpen the brain. Dancing, by the way, really does work very effectively. Because it forces your neurons to move your limbs in a more coordinated fashion, hopefully they coordinate. But there are memory games on phones, videos of any nature that are on the mobile devices of value. It's the dumbing down activities that bother me. Some of the mindless games that we literally only play to waste time. There are more important things to do. We don't have time to waste time to do. And so it's focusing on more initiatives out there. We fight about it. Describe our continuous battle with our youngest child, Oliver, who's 14.
Some video games.
What do you do with it?
Phantom.
She hides his games when he's in school. If you want to see a hyena cry out in frustration, it's all over in his home.
So I was just going to say, one of the things that you can do with your memory is when you're multitasking, you don't actually remember very much. So if you really want to remember something, do that and only that. Because when you're on the phone and looking at your emails and carrying on the conversation with your kid at the same time, you will not retain any of that.
See, Felicia, that's why I don't multitask.
Well, Paul never listens to me anyway in the newsroom, so kind of like I hope.
And find out different people deal with colds. Every human being is cold. So we want to take advantage of it. So now in Vietnam, they make what's called a roast soup. It's actually chicken soup, which is the best technique of all. But they put all kinds of Vietnamese spices in it. So it likes to work. A lot of the remedies from around the world has spices in them. The spice opens up the blood vessels, and this thing you just drain. So it actually is very therapeutic.
And garlic, they all have garlic.
A lot of garlic. The garlic has a bunch of very specific benefits. It opens up the blood vessels in the lungs, which helps your breathing. It also has a very specific effect helping the immune cells. You would be surprised when you look at that page how many alcoholic solutions there are. So in France, they like spicy rum, which is a really cool way. I think alcohol generally will deal with the symptoms you have, but it also opens up the airways, and that's the mucus drain. They have a brandy that they use in some parts of the world, in China, for example. They have garlic tea, which Lisa mentioned, and put alcohol in it as well. So you have a couple basic traditions that seem to work in many different societies, like alcohol and spice and garlic and chicken soup. It sort of makes you realize that those are the ones that you should probably rely on here.
I've become a big fan of turmeric because of you. And I even eat it raw. Is that okay? At least a little bit?
Yeah, turmeric is the most important spice in India. So you've got a billion people who get their health from things like turmeric. It's in curry sauce. It's in a lot of different foods. Mustards have that same similar spice in them. So I like it a lot. It actually works for cold. It's one of the remedies, in this case from India. And if you can cook curry in a meal at least every other day, we think it also may help prevent Alzheimer's.
And by the way, this isn't hard to find. This is stuff they sell at local farmers markets, grocery stores. It's not like this is exotic. I mean, you can buy it.
You know that little market in West Palm Beach on Saturday mornings? Yeah, that market is spectacular. You know, a lot of these foods are sold there. They're inexpensive. And it's a wonderful place to get. You can also make curry nuts, which are very good. So you don't, just to vary up a little bit, so you don't eat the same thing every day. You can get the foundation like a nut or a pea or something and curry it up. Just add more diversity to your life.
Well, sticking with the topic of staying healthy, I know last February was Heart Month. Obviously, this is a topic very close to your heart as a heart surgeon. I want to talk a little bit about one of the articles in the magazine in between diagnosing heart disease.
I didn't realize this when I went to medical school, but like a lot of doctors, you sort of go to school thinking you're going to learn everything you're done, but in reality you don't. We learn as you go through life and we deal with patients who teach us. And when I began operating on the heart, I realized that in women the blood vessels were really thin. They were so thin that a lot of times a bypass graft wasn't the best thing for them. That's why women don't do as well as men when they have stents placed or they have bypass surgery. But I realized with men, you have a different problem. Bigger vessels. So there's very more blood going through there, but they get calcified. They scar more. So women's blood vessels, because they're more capillary, they're thin. When you get emotional, the blood vessels close. Men, they stay open, but they clot suddenly, which can be a problem. So they're very, very different from each other. The symptoms vary as well. Men will typically get chest pain and pressure, like an elephant sitting on their chest. Women, well, interestingly, you can often get shortness of breath. And when we had Rosie O'Donnell on the show, and she almost died because of this. She had them all, helping someone get out of the car. She pulled a muscle in her back, or she thought she did. What really happened was she ruptured a plaque and had a heart attack. All that pain she was feeling was her body trying to get it out of her. Only when she realized she was having other symptoms, lightheadedness, shortness of breath, and she began to realize something more important was happening. And when she came on the show, she told me the thing that saved her, actually, was when she realized what was going on, she put an aspirin in her mouth. So all of you should be traveling around with 2 baby aspirin. You're going to take 2 baby aspirin if you're over the age of 40 every single morning for put it under your tongue and chew it. That way you absorb it faster immediately. And remember, it's 2 daily aspirin, not 1, because about a quarter of them don't actually respond to aspirin. So you got to give it 2 for it to work in you. And I mention that in particular because we underdose it a lot, but when you look at the future of medicine and how it's going to change, the big change is going to be we're going to be able to customize the care for you. We're going to know that in your family or your genes, you don't respond to this drug, but you respond to that drug. So we will stop wasting time giving people the wrong antibiotics, the wrong pills for asthma, the wrong treatment for heart problems, etc. We're much more targeted in what we do. And I think that if I give one more vision point, over the next 2 years or so, that phone you have in your hand is going to become your health coach. There are going to be apps that allow us, if you want us to take information from you that you don't even know you have and feed it back to you in a way that helps you be smarter and do the right things. For example, we'll say, you know, whenever you answer emails after 10 o'clock at night, you don't sleep right. Or we notice that these kinds of people, the interactions with these people seem to change your blood pressure. You probably know it deep down, but they let you know it specifically. So you begin to be wiser in how you make decisions in your life. Shopping decisions, interpersonal decisions, scheduling decisions, because we'll be able to tell you that the last time you did that, we had a problem. And more importantly, when you look at 100,000 people like you, here's what they decided to do, here's how they did afterwards. You'll be more educated about how you make decisions.
What about family history, Dr. Oz? We hear that so often, and that is so vital in determining perhaps your medical faith. Is it that critical, and how big of a role does family history play in perhaps predicting your own problems in the future?
Your family history, your genes in general, predict 1/3 of how you age, 2/3 of your lifestyles.
Oh, shit. That was fine. Alright. That was nice. Yeah, alright. Let's just be stupid and go outside and hoop because we think it's gonna look pretty. I'm gonna get fucking shot by lightning.
Don't go fucking hoop.
I'm gonna fucking hoop. Not outside in the rain.
That's what you just said.
I said outside. I meant on the porch.
You said you're going to eat.
Usually, I don't get any physical symptoms from storms at all. In fact, I love when it rains and stuff, but for some reason I had a little bit of it earlier because I was in a crowded place with a lot of noise. I have a migraine and my side hurts. And I never have pain or anything like pressure or anything from rain. And I have a headache. And I'm not sure if it has to do anything to do with the storm, but it's just weird. Yeah, I forgot to get pet food and I have to go to Petco and get them food. And I have to go out and this probably. I don't know. I don't know if I want to. But they have no food. I want a tortoise so bad, but they're way expensive.
What's in here?
This is a chameleon.
Oh
Can we
my
find
God.
the chameleon? Oh my god, it's so pretty! Can't really see it on camera.
Joe, I'm scared
There's
of
a cricket
snakes.
drawing.
What's around his head? Look.
Skin. He's peeling. I really want a bearded dragon. Here they are. Here's baby bearded dragons. Oh, look how cute they are. I want one so bad.
Really?
This is the next pet I'm getting. When I do get a pet, that's what I'm getting.
So Haley had that. I like those.
I like-
I don't want to hold it. I want that.
That's what Marissa has, I think. That's Manson, I think? Yeah, Manson. I want to hold Manson. When I go up there, I'm going to hold Manson.
Kathy.
Ma. I found my next pet I'm getting when I do get. So I'm going to try this for me and you. It's $7, but I'm going to try it because it looks good. Yeah, I'm going to have food. But Marissa, this is what I got. Miyu. And Miyu, I don't think likes it actually, so I wouldn't get it. But this is interesting, but I gotta look up if yogurt's good for them, because I think I read that it's not actually good for them. So I'm gonna get this. Berries. No wait, wrong way. Berries.